Hello, everybody. So, there's something I wanted to share yesterday. In the morning, as I was meditating, I felt dragon energy very present with me. Dragons are a key part of the Avalonian grid. The ley lines are sometimes referred to as dragon lines. And dragons in general are known to be protectors of sacred wells and springs, and also the divine feminine. So I knew that when dragon energy was with me very strongly, I was being called to spend time at the springs that day. And so I went, and at some point I went to fill up my water bottle at the Lion's Head at Chalice Well, which is where the white spring flows, and right across the road we have the red spring. It was a beautiful day, and so there were quite a few people queuing up and a few women seated around the Lion's Head. I had been meditating earlier in the day, and so I was very present and aware of the energies around me. And I knew that I was called to the springs to experience, observe something. There was something there, which I'm now sharing with you. I was guided to observe how people were interacting with the spring. And at the same time, my attention was drawn to the few women that were seated around the Lion's Head, also watching. I was sensing something in the field, like these women were waiting for something. I had no idea what it was. I could feel, as we do in modern culture, there is this sense of almost grief for a memory of a timeline, of a time in Avalon where the waters and the earth were honored in a deeply conscious way, and that this was a part of the collective field, that it was just the way things were. It was a very telepathic field of individuals, a group, a collective society, where we didn't so much need words because so much was communicated through our field that we take with us wherever we go. And we could read each other's fields without having to speak, so words became superfluous, unnecessary. This was just what was coming up. I could feel a disconnection, a numbness, kind of like a waiting. These women were waiting. And I was watching the people in front of me, and I observed how some individuals were simply taking from the well in a way that energetically expressed a righteous sense of having the right to take without giving back. having the right to take without any sense of gratitude or presence or mindfulness. It was just a very unconscious act, as it were. And what was made clear to me was that the individuals who were taking in this way were showing me their relationship with the feminine, how they engage with the feminine energy. Because earth and water are feminine energy. They are the elements of feminine energy. And this is a beautiful way in which we can gauge for ourselves without any judgment, but simply to bring consciousness to these areas of how we engage with the resources of Mother Earth in ancient times. And this is a beautiful way in which we can gauge for ourselves without. It was a reciprocal relationship like no other. We gave to the land and the waters and the Mother Gaia just as much as she gave to us. It was a living communion, and it honored all, and all thrived and flourished from it. And this is the deep longing that so many of us have to return to, for we have ancient memories that are in the collective field of these times. And many of us who are here now have actually lived these times in those timelines and lifetimes. So it's an invitation for the change, the global change we are, 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 the change, the global change we are waiting for, or seeking, or hoping for, and fighting for, and marching for, speaking up for, will not come from waiting for, or seeking, or hoping for, and fighting for, and marching for, speaking up for, will not come from waiting for, or seeking, or anything other than looking at our private, our innermost private relationship with the feminine and the masculine within, the feminine being Gaia. And it is mostly the feminine which is both within men and women, which is needing, which is the gateway to the masculine healing as well, within both men and women. So it's an invitation to look at our innermost private personal relationship with, in moments like these that we take for granted, that we don't even think about could be significant or showing us something. But all of life, when our hearts are open and we have the eyes and ears with which to truly see, all of life is communicating to us in significant ways in each and every now moment. It is up to us to be paying attention, to have that level of presence to be paying attention, and it's an invitation to do this. And then, at a certain point, I watched somebody, and I'm not going to say whether any of these people are man or woman because that's not relevant. I observed someone else approaching the spring, and through the field and presence they were bringing, it shifted the entire area. Before this person took silently, without any performance, any outer ritual or performance or word, they were honoring the spring, the waters. They were honoring the earth, because the shift in the field and my observation of the women who were seated, waiting and watching, was very obvious, was very marked, was very unmistakable. It was a healing for them to observe somebody engaging with the waters in a way that first honored the waters for what it is, living light, the divine feminine made manifest through an element that brings so much healing, and that is life itself in many ways. Just this person's presence, the field they were carrying, the way they very discreetly were honoring the waters with their intention that I could read so clearly. It amplified, and water being an amplifier, it amplified that energy throughout the entire field, raising the frequency of that entire field. And I saw these women's faces light up and their hearts expand, like this is what they'd been waiting for. They'd been silently, quietly waiting for someone to come along and engage in this way. And this is all a metaphor. That doesn't mean that we need to be sitting around. This is all a metaphor for what we can do. It's those small moments. It's those moments where nobody is noticing or watching that truly hold so much more power and amplification than we know. Not only for ourselves, but for Gaia, for the collective. We are powerful beings, and we are predominantly made of water, as is the earth, as is Mother Gaia. We are an extension of her body. There is no separation. Separation occurs only in the mind. And I knew that this is why I was guided to come to the springs. I was being guided by the dragon guardians of these grids to share this message, to witness this and be able to share this. That this is why I was guided to come to the springs. I was being guided by the dragon guardian. The dragon is a profound guardian who we can call upon. The dragon is a profound guardian who we can call upon. The dragon is a profound guardian who we can call upon. The dragon is a profound guardian who we can call upon. The dragon is a profound guardian who we can call upon for protection, 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 for wisdom, 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 and for the refinement of our consciousness. Sending you many blessings. Bye. And for the refinement of our consciousness. Sending you many blessings. Bye. And for the refinement of our